I gotta tell you, it feels so good to put that title up there. It feels so fun, exciting, exhilarating, just awesome. Like, one of the best parts of being a full-time YouTuber is when your expectations are just completely subverted, your expectations are completely overran, your expectations are just blurred, blazed. Gotta go fast and change them up, and that's what's happened to me. And so I'm so pumped to make this video. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. We're talking about Sonic Frontiers on the Switch, no less. All right, I want to set this up for you very honestly, very upfront, very directly. I've played on the Switch, mostly in handheld mode, for about 5 hours. Okay, so I am giving you my raw take on what just went down, and I am floored. I fully expected to hate this game. I fully expected it to suck. I fully expected to come here and say that nothing about this experience is worth your time, worth your money, and especially not on Switch. Now, I will start off by saying none of that is true. None of it. Not even one bit of it. It does have some performance issues on Switch. There's a lot of popping. Sometimes you're running and, oh my gosh, rails just appeared out of nowhere. But somehow it hasn't really affected my absolute enjoyment of this game thus far. Sonic Frontiers is very fun. I never, ever thought I would say that, and I am happy to say I was totally wrong about Sonic Frontiers. Now, I have some issues, but I want to focus on the good, baby, which is that this game, I don't think they tried to do this, but this game is the modern 2022 version of those 90s collectathons that you loved growing up, or at least I did. Many companies have tried to make that game, and it feels very anchored in the past. It is stuck there with a pretty new coat of paint. And somehow, open zone gameplay means collectathon for the modern era. I think Sega and Team Sonic think that they're making, like, they won't say it, but they think they're making the next Breath of the Wild. No, this is not that kind of open world game, primarily because this Sonic Frontiers game, it lacks like a major gameplay idea to center it around. Okay, Sonic Frontiers, in the best way possible, feels like all the most fun side quests from other games. You could say that is a scathing, horrible comment, but I'm telling you, in this case, it's just a heck of a lot of fun. Moving around as Sonic in these more open spaces and collecting all sorts of things to give to Amy, to give to Knuckles, to unlock new traditional Sonic stages, to open up more of the map, it's ridiculously fun. It is a bit repetitive, it is a bit monotonous, it is also a ton of fun. And I've never been more blown away by a Switch game, not because this is like the second coming of Mario Odyssey, but because my expectations were below the ground. And I've been right about here. You know, I think this game is about a 70, 72 on Metacritic, and that feels really good. I have more to play. Okay, I have been to 2 of the 5 islands, so there is a lot of game. I'm really just enjoying doing it all. Like, I don't feel like I'm rushing through. I like doing it all. Now, this does at times feel like baby's first open world game. Now, I don't know if Team Sonic intended to be so accessible, or if they just accidentally were so accessible, but many of the shrine equivalents in this game, right, the things that you do that open up parts of the map, they are ridiculously simple. We're talking about, like, spin a hamster wheel. You know how you do that? You press right. You press right on the joystick. How about one where you have to step 2D style on 3 lights as they light up with no time limit? Well, there's a little time limit, but it's so generous. To the left, to the right, cha-cha real smooth. Now, that's what it feels like Cupid Shuffle, but for anyone. I mean, I can tell you that the puzzles in this game, they lose the P, the U, the Z, the Z, the L, they're just the E. That's how I'd rank the puzzles, but somehow it doesn't ruin the experience. Because controlling Sonic, while not perfect, controlling Sonic, while not the most one-to-one motion, controlling Sonic is just downright good. And the sparse open environments full of random rails, random jump pads, random little cranes raising you up, they're just joyful to interact with. It's just joyful to speed around, climb into the skies, fall down, collect some stuff, and go to the next one. Drawing circles, here's the moment of reckoning. I was wrong about this too. I don't know how. I was so off, but drawing circles, it's a good mechanic. It's a good mechanic. Now, what do I mean by they don't have a central mechanic? Because you could say that the side loop, the circles, is the central mechanic. I just feel like the main missions, whatever those would be in a game, right? The crux of it all is just kind of lacking. It's a bunch of little side things that all kind of come together to form one story, and maybe as I progress, I'll notice more of a main thread. But right now, it does feel like a game that didn't know exactly what it wanted to be, so it tried to do a little bit of everything. Like, let's do some 2D Sonic stages, let's do some time 3D Sonic stages, let's do a whole lot of grind rails, let's do some combat, let's do some Super Sonic, let's do some boss battles, let's do some new attacks, let's do some old attacks, let's do some exploration, let's do some collecting, let's do some really, really cringe-worthy dialogue. Oh my goodness gracious, this game is written with such seriousness, and yet almost all of the moments fall completely flat, at least for me. I'm sure for some people this is Sonic, diving deeper than ever before. But I'm just happy that this is my favorite Sonic game I've ever played. Hands down. Now, I'm not a traditional Sonic fan. I don't have a super nostalgic love for the franchise, so take that into consideration. But for me, this is my favorite Sonic game I've ever played. More than Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is what me and my brother grew up on the GameCube. More than the OG Sonics back on the Genesis in my early days of video game consoles. More than Sonic Mania, which was a fantastic project on Nintendo Switch. This one is just a ton of fun, and the side loop is enjoyable. There's just random mini games. Delete the weeds from the farm with this side loop. Circle the enemy with the side loop. And yeah, it is repetitive. The combat, you just do a lot of the same stuff, and somehow it is enjoyable because the pace. And it's weird because this game on Switch has a lot of load screens, these like training sequences that you can always get out of, but you have to load out of to practice your moves. The performance is not perfect, but it is good enough for on the go, handheld. I think that's the best way to experience this game. I think the bigger TV, the more unimpressive it becomes. The game is not a looker on Switch. It doesn't have a very vast, amazing, dense world. It is like a playground. But you know what happens at playgrounds? Fun. The way Sonic plays in this game is fun, and doing all the things that Sonic can do are fun, and I think it's because you're not restricted. For so long we've been restricted, and I actually find myself having similar frustrations with the Portal Sonic levels, the more traditional, like 1-1, like Green Hill Zone, all that stuff. That's the stuff where I'm like, this is what I don't love about Sonic. I want to go back to get that red coin, but I already zoomed forward, but now I feel like I'm killing momentum. In the open zone, you get to just free flow with Sonic, and that is a fantastic feeling, and that's why this game is still so much fun. Because doing all the little errands with that game, with getting to boost, build your Sonic how you want. You want more speed, you want more rings, you want more strength, you want more defense, how you want to be. A glass canyon, hopefully you're not a glass canyon. A glass cannon is a whole different meaning. That's like a very beautiful photography experience, also anxiety-inducing for the person laying on the ground. Anyhow, you can be a powerful Sonic, you can be a fast Sonic, you can make Sonic, and they did copy stuff. You collect basically Korok seeds all around the map, and they're way more obvious and plentiful than in Zelda. You collect all sorts of different hearts for Amy and little medallions for Knuckles. Somehow, even drawing circles and clearing out the map, it's a completionist dream. It feels very satisfying to check everything off. In fact, it even shows you in the world check marks that stay on the map. Like, not just the map screen, but on the physical, when you're walking around, you see a check, like, you did that one. And crossing it all off is really exciting because as you progress, more and more of the map opens up, more rails appear, more faster ways to navigate and get around. Once you open all the portals, you can fast travel, and it's just so good to move with that speed. Sonic's gotta go fast, and for a change, I get to do that for most of the game. I'm only slowed down when I have to do the levels that feel like how Sonic has normally felt, which, I don't know, I could be an oddball, I could be an anomaly, I could see some fans liking those parts best, but I feel like this is my throwback to Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and the best of those back in the day. Maybe the characters are less charming, the storyline seems way more up its butt. I just like playing it. And I haven't just liked playing a game in this way really since like Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Like, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is way more polished than Sonic Frontiers. It's way more advanced. It has a way more consistent, congruent, cohesive idea. But that aspect of being a fun character in open space is kind of what they've created here. And I hope that it doesn't wear itself out. I don't know exactly how long the game is. I know that there's 5 major islands. I'm saying 5 hours into the second island. Probably looking at like a 15-hour game. I don't know. I hope that they find enough new things to do to keep it interesting for that whole long time. And that's why I've mostly held off on labeling this a review or giving it a review, is because I do have a concern that maybe the fun I'm having in Island 1 and Island 2. Island 2 is the sand island and introduces new jumping enemies and new ways for you to sort of maneuver around the world and different things you have to do with a heavier focus on like ground stomping. It's pretty cool. Can they keep that up across 5 islands? Or will I get sick of collecting by the time I get to, say, Island 4? We'll have to see how inventive they can be, because the game is repetitive. That is a knock against it. And if you enjoy the game play like I do, it's a good thing. Somehow I can't put this game down. I just drained my Switch battery, and I don't remember the last time that's happened. Addictive Sonic Frontiers is not a sentence I thought I would be speaking in 2022, or any year for that matter. But I was totally wrong about Sonic Frontiers, and I'm having a lot of fun. The Switch version, I don't think it struggles enough to skip. I don't think it's a big enough miss to need the other console. In fact, I think this game is perfect for on-the-go handheld, and I think this game benefits from being in the palm of your hand and playing that way versus expecting spectacle and something momentous. Save that for God of War, because if you put God of War Ragnarok up on your 4K LCD and then you put Sonic Frontiers, I think you're going to cry. We don't want tears. We just want you to go to the frontiers. And I don't know that I can recommend it for everyone. I'm going to hold off, like I said, because it's a full price game and I got to play the full game. But man, am I having fun. And that feels so good. So let me know what you think. And if you're shocked and surprised like I am at my reaction and my impressions, I did not plan this. I did not expect this. I promise you, I thought this game was going to suck hard. And it doesn't. How cool. Until next time, though, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.